Timothy reading. Increase your financial IQ. Yeah. This lesson is done. Did you know that? Wow. Look. Wow. Which one is the real and which one is the fake? Increase your financial IQ. Chapter 1. What is financial intelligence? When Robert was 5 years old, he was rushed to the hospital for an emergency surgery. As he understood it, he had a serious infection and a complication from chickenpox. Although it was a frightening experience, Robert has a cherished memory of his dad, his younger brother, and his two sisters standing on the lawn outside of the hospital and waving in the bed as he lay in the bed recovering. Robert's mom was not there. She was at home, bedridden, struggling with a weak heart. Less than a year, Robert's younger brother was taken to the hospital after falling from a ledge in the garage and landing on his head. Robert's youngest sister was next. Was next. She needed an operation on her knee. And the youngest, Robert's sister Bess, a newborn baby, had a severe skin disease that continually baffled the doctors. But it was a tough year for Robert's dad, and he was the only one of the 6 of them to not succumb to a medical challenge. The good news is that they all recovered and lived healthy lives. As new was the medical bills that kept coming. Robert's father may have not have become ill that year, but he did contract the crippling overwhelming medical debt. At the time, Robert's dad was a graduate student at the University of Hawaii. He's brilliant in school, receiving his bachelor's degree in just 2 years, and had dreams of one day becoming a college professor. Now, with a family of 6, a mortgage, high medical bills to pay, he let go of his dream and took a job as an assistant superintendent of schools in a little town of Hilo on the big island of Hawaii, just so he could afford to move with their family from one island to another. He had to get a loan from his father. It was a tough time for him and for their family. Although he did achieve tremendous professional success and was awarded his doctorate degree, Robert suspected not realizing his dream finally awarded his dream of becoming a college professor to his father until his dying days. He often said, "When you kids are out of the house, I'm going back to school and doing what I love, teaching." But that wasn't to be. Robert's dad eventually became the superintendent of education for the state of Hawaii, an administrative post, and then ran for lieutenant governor and lost. At the age of 50, he was suddenly unemployed. Soon after the election, Robert's mom died suddenly at the age of 48 due to her weak heart. Robert's father never recovered from that loss. Once again, and money problems piled up. Without a job, he decided to withdraw his retirement savings and invest in a national ice cream franchise. He lost all his money. As he grew older, Robert's father felt he was left behind by his peers. His life's career was over. Without his job as the head of education, his identity was gone. He grew angry at his rich classmates who had gone into business rather than education as he did. Lashing out, he often said, I dedicated my life to educating the children of Hawaii. What do I get? Nothing. My fat cat classmates get richer. What do I get? Nothing. Robert never knew why he did not go back to the university to teach. He believed it was because he was trying very hard to become rich quickly and to make up for lost time. He wound up chasing flaky deals and hanging out with fast-talking con men. His get-rich-quick venture succeeded. If for not a few odd jobs in his social security, he might have had to move on in with one of the kids. A few months before he died of cancer at the age of 72, Robert's father pulled him close to his bedside and apologized for not having much to leave his children. Holding his hand, Robert put his hand and they cried together. So, Basically, I guess it's kind of like telling like us that like Robert's poor dad, his real dad, so he had money problems like everybody else, but he didn't solve it correctly. Instead, he tried to get rich quickly like all of his other friends, but instead he could have like gone a different approach and maybe he could have actually gotten rich. So I guess it's kind of telling us that like Robert's real dad, like his poor dad, didn't took the wrong step to like getting rich, because like he could have done other stuff instead of going to cons and like or like stuff websites or stuff like that and like trying to get rich quickly that way. So Ask the Kids is a book on how kids come to mom and dad and aliens doing homework. My book's about kid and aliens stole some work. So yeah, like and subscribe. Bye.